Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston. We're your hosts. We're still joined, by the way, by Ricky Brake from Carolina Shutters and Blinds. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. If you want to know more about the Andrew Roby Company, go to andrewroby.com. That's andrewroby.com, or you can always find us on the wbt.com homepage. Ricky, let's just reset a little bit for folks. Maybe they just jumped in their car, they're listening to the show. Let's tell them who Carolina Shutters and Blinds of Charlotte is, what the history is, and what you guys do.
Carolina Shutter and Blinds started in Winston-Salem 25 years ago as a retail environment for people to pick up good window treatments. And it was bought by a person I work with in corporate America. He bought it 3 or 4 years ago. And then I came on with him about 2 years ago and started my own business here in Charlotte. So they cover Winston and Raleigh, and I cover Charlotte. We have 2 different businesses, but we're the only 2 brands of Carolina Shutter and Blinds. And our goal is to be the Carolinas retailer of window treatments made locally that people can count on for good service and good value.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking your company up and doing it. I mean, things I like. You have a couple locations similar to our business, similar to the Roby family of companies and Andrew Roby Construction. You're not franchised. You take credit. You take credit and hardship both.
Yes,
when it's due. Either way.
Yes, sir.
You come out. I mean, you get to talk to you. I think that's good. And I know you want to grow your company, but you're always behind the scenes and you measure twice, cut once. You make your product in North Carolina. That's good. Craftsmanship's a word you like to use a lot. And then you also have access and leverage to national brands. So, you know, people aren't always looking for the custom option, just like us on stuff we put a lot of in, like cabinets and products. I mean, some people want a national line, but we like custom lines. That's what we really like to push.
Yes.
And then you do repairs and such of existing brands and shutters, even if you don't do them. I mean, business is business and relationships are relationships, you know, and if you can get your foot in the door and take care of somebody, I think that's always valuable. That's kind of a very similar mentality to us, why we do handyman. A lot of people don't want to deal with handyman. I think I was telling somebody this past week that a $200 or $2-hour call for the wife at the house to send an emergency with 3 kids running around driving her crazy is oftentimes over 50% harder than building a multi-million-dollar custom home over a year because they're never there.
Yeah.
You get to do it, and they're not bothering you. It isn't a watch pot. You know, there's a saying, a watch pot never boils.
Yes.
But you're under scrutiny with what you do by the homeowner or by the business owner or the restaurateur. So I think there's a lot of value and a lot of similarities to our company, which is why we're glad to have you on the show. So thank you.
And Ricky, you guys have really, couple years, but you're already 5-star and A-level service with Hal's and Angie's List. So you're building that great reputation, and that's really based on service. You talked in the last segment about listen and learn. You go out to somebody's home, you listen and learn what they're trying to accomplish with the blinds or the shades.
I'm so happy about that. You know, a couple of years in, we have 34 5-star reviews on House, and we have all A's on Angie's List. And we're very, very proud of that. Matter of fact, House just gave us Best of House 2016 for service. I have the placard up at my booth. By the way, we're at the home show. Today's the last day. It's booth 612 at the Home and Garden Show down.
Get
in your car.
Make a U-turn. Go down and see Ricky.
Starts,
Hold on, you're
right
in your car.
Starts right at the end of this show.
Don't go to church. Go to the Southern Ideal Home Show.
Trent's about to get in trouble at church
Repent,
again.
young man.
Booth 612. Come see me. And speaking of repairs, we certainly people come up and talk about how can I get my louvers repaired on a broken shutter and the like. And we offer that service as we can. And as we're out and about. So, but yes, the service record we have comes from, I think it comes from listening and learning in the beginning.
Yeah. You
got to hear, and you can't come in with an agenda. You have to come in with the only agenda is to listen and learn. And then as you gather what a customer would like, then you offer some options.
Right.
No pressure.
So I see Ricky this morning. He looks a little haggard. Been about 8, 9, 10 days out at the Southern Ideal Spring and Garden show.
Right, Home and Garden.
Man's worn out over here, and I said, is it a good deal for you? He said yes. I said, is it a good lead generator? He said yes. He said, but what I really like about it is I get to talk my business and my products, and I get to learn from our clients, and I'm really honing my craft by talking to the customer. And that's true.
Oh, my word, is it true? I tell you, I learned so much, listening to customers and what they're concerned about, what they need for their windows, and I learned a lot. Plus, the bonus side is customers in the past come up, and we hug, shake hands. Several customers that came by last weekend show, it's just great to see them. We just build that relationship, the emotional bank account where they trust me, and I feel like I've given a good service to them, and it's just a great feeling to have that in business.
A man from corporate America, all we got to talk about a bank account.
Exactly.
Emotional
bank account. He's changed, my friend. Folks, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. We're joined by Ricky Brake with Carolina Shutters and Blinds of Charlotte. If you can't get by the show that we're talking about, the home show, you can call Ricky at 980-285-7295, or you can go to andrewroby.com. Check us out. Give us a call. We'll put you in touch with Ricky. All right, so Ricky, let's take a few minutes. Let's talk about the product, because you have multiple products and you have multiple styles within those products that you can sell to clients.
Yes, and we start with our signature line. That is the composite plantation shutter manufactured in Winston-Salem. Some of the components are made in Phoenix, Arizona, and then we bring them into Winston-Salem, and we fashion a shutter to fit your window from the measurements that I offer up. And these are limited lifetime warranty because they have a polymer wrap. It's a wood core. It's an engineered wood core, but we wrap them in a polymer instead of painting them. So they're strong, but you don't have to worry about them warping or chipping or cracking or fading or peeling or any of those things that can happen to other types of
And
products.
this is particularly the plantation style shutter?
That's correct.
That you can move the louvers up and down, and they're in the inside. They mount to the window on the inside of the home.
That's exactly right.
And they hinge open.
They hinge open.
And what is the most popular size of shutter? The louver.
3.5
See?
has made its way into the world.
3.5.
Yes, the 2.5 is the kind of the classic look, but 3.5 we're seeing a lot more of that, and 4.5 is also a size, but we don't do very much of those. The most popular, to answer your question, Trent, is the 3.5, and
the bigger. Is there a maintenance issue? The bigger the louver you get, heavy wise. I know on the holding them up, if you want the sun to be tinted up or down, does that become a problem over time?
It's not so much a concern on the 3.5s. One thing you get out of the 3.5s is more light when the louvers are open.
Got it.
Because there's less quantity of louvers, and people like that.
Nothing's prettier than a woman with shutter light on her.
Right.
Through a window on a spring day in the Carolinas.
Yes.
Everybody knows what I mean, though.
Yet another reason to call Carolina Shutter and Blinds of Charlotte.
Yes.
So you also have the shutters, and I agree that those plantation shutters really changes the dynamic of a window inside. But you also have some sun screening if you really want to shade out that sun, but still have the visible light coming through.
Yes, also American made. There's two large fabric manufacturers in America. One's in Alabama and one's down here in Cowpens outside of Spartanburg, and they make our solar screens. And then the product or the raw material comes into manufacturers in North Carolina, and from there I give them measurements and they make them.
So these are there's a roller at the top. It rolls down. You can do manual or electronic.
Exactly right. And what they do, there's two types of there's a distinction there. One is a solar screen, which is like a screen porch. You can see through it. And then they grade those by opacity. So you can let about 1% of the light through or 15% of the light through. So if you want more privacy, we go lower. If you want less privacy, we go higher. And that's one type. That's the solar screen. And the differentiation on this, the second one is just a roller shade, which lets light through, but you can't see through it like a screen porch. It's just allowing light to come through because it's a thinner fabric.
So I like these. They look slick. They're not traditional. They wouldn't go in my house. But like in urban settings like condos with storefront windows, and then also businesses, not modern-looking office complexes and
Absolutely.
such.
Where you need to break that sun up.
Absolutely. All right, Ricky, it's Carolina Shutter and Blinds of Charlotte. Let's get your information out there. Just give the website and the phone number one more time if people want to get in touch with you.
Yes, please feel free to call us at 980-285-7295 or visit us at csbcharlotte.com. That's Carolina Shutter Blinds Charlotte. That's csbcharlotte.com. Or come by booth 612 today from 10 to 5.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure talking shop with you.
It was a pleasure. I appreciate it. Great products. I love the fact that they're made in the U.S. and in North Carolina specifically.
Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, folks, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us.